everyone, welcome to another installment of Corey's in the Kitchen. I'm so excited, especially if you watched the first one and decided to come back and join us for another cooking adventure. So what we're going to do today, we're going to make another staple of Middle Eastern food, and that is hummus. Now I know that there's a lot of hummus out there that is really good, and typically I just go to the store and get some myself because
it's convenient.
It is convenient. Thank you, my love. Convenience, of course, is always great. However, if you ever want to learn how to make it, or if you want one that maybe just a little bit better than what the store has to offer, it has that homemade feel to it, that homemade taste, then I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So, the first thing we're going to need is chickpeas. They are the main ingredient in your hummus. We're going to do 3 cups of chickpeas that are already cooked. If you get chickpeas that are not cooked and you decide to cook them yourself, that's absolutely fine. I just got canned chickpeas that are pre-cooked. They'll be just as good. I do heat them beforehand, just until it gets right below a boil. That way it makes them a little bit easier to break down and makes it a little bit smoother. So 3 cups of chickpeas. Over here we have Greek yogurt. Now the recipe actually calls for laban, which is basically Greek yogurt with some salt and some oil added to it, and then you hang it above the sink for about 3 days in a cheesecloth and let all the whey drain out of it. I don't have 3 days to make my own, and we live in a small community and I can't just go to the grocery store and buy some. If you live in an area that has a Middle Eastern market or a world market, you might be a little bit luckier than we are in obtaining it. But Greek yogurt is the second best thing when making hummus. So, what else do we have here? We have salt, which we will add to taste. We have paprika and ground cumin. And those will be added on as a garnish and to help with the taste after we're finished. I went ahead and crushed and minced about 3 cloves of garlic. They're in here. I have a half a cup of lemon juice and 3 tablespoons of tahini, or I've heard other people say tahini. It is basically a sesame paste, and it gives it that unique flavor that hummus is so widely known for. Alright, these are all the ingredients. It's going to be basically straightforward. We're going to dump all this stuff in the food processor, pulse it until it breaks down and is well combined. Before I had a food processor, I tried to do this in a blender, and to be honest, didn't work all that well. I think we need it to be a little bit smoother, and hopefully the food processor will help us do that. So, come in a little bit closer and let's get started. Alright. So like I said, it's a fairly straightforward process. The first thing I did is I removed some chickpeas from our chickpea container, and I'm going to set this aside to help with garnishing.
It's all about presentation.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to remove this out of my way, and I'm going to go ahead and dump all of this in here. Okay, I'm going to follow that by the yogurt. And again, that was about a quarter of a cup. You can always do a little bit more if you want to be a little bit more creamy, a little bit less if you want to be a little bit less creamy. And then again, if you can get your hands on laban, or if you have the patience to wait for 3 days as to make it, by all means go right ahead. Tahini seems to be a little bit easier to come by. I did find it in our local supermarket. They have a little Middle Eastern section. It doesn't have a whole lot in there, but it did have this. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in here. It's about 3 tablespoons full. It's got a nice thick consistency. I'm going to add the half a cup of lemon juice. And I'm going to add my garlic. Now to start off with, I'm only going to add a couple of pinches of salt. And then we'll wait to taste to see if it needs to any more added to it. There you have it. Let's see if I can get this thing back in here. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit loud, but we're going to go ahead and pulse it a few times and see if we can get a decent consistency. So I'm going to keep pulsing this and hopefully it'll give us a nice consistency. Sorry, a nice consistency. If anybody's wondering what tahina looks like, it looks like this. A little bit more liquidy on the top, a little bit less liquidy on the bottom, and you just want to mix it in nicely before you get it out of it. That's how it's spelled, T-A-H-I-N-I, at least that's how they spell it here. So, there you go. I'm going to set this aside and continually pulse this a few more times. So I don't want to just go ahead and try to talk and have you listen to basically a food processor running. I know that can get kind of annoying, but it takes a while. Just, the longer you do it, the more smooth it's going to be. Now bear in mind, this is going to be a little bit thicker than your store-bought hummus. And then we're going to add olive oil on top of it to garnish, and that'll help it at presentation and when you're actually eating it. So I think a little bit more pulsing over here is due, and then we should be just about done. Alright, now that it's completely mixed, make sure it gets completely mixed. If you try it before everything's had a chance to break down, you might notice it's a little bit sour, or it's not exactly the taste that you're looking for, but give it a chance. You have to make sure that everything gets mixed up nice and well. And we're going to go ahead and take it out of this, put it into this bowl, and then we'll go ahead and garnish it. Alright, now here is our finished product. Notice it's a little bit more lumpy than what you would normally find in the store. But nonetheless, it is still absolutely delicious. Bear in mind, there's a blade in here, so be careful when getting this out of there.
Sorry, I have the sniffles.
Oh, you're alright. It's that time of year. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off emptying this into our bowl, and then my lovely wife is going to garnish it and get it ready for presentation, and we'll be right back with the finished product. Alright guys, here's the finished product. I think my wife did a fantastic job of garnishing. Again, you have the spare chickpeas that we put aside, some extra virgin olive oil around, and a mixture of paprika and ground cumin to round it out. So, hummus, and thank you so much for joining us this week. Please tune in again next week where it'll be something special, not sure what. If you like it, give it that thumbs up, subscribe, share it everywhere, and until next time, keep it spicy.